Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Pedal Shift Project. The Pedal Shift Project is a series of conversations, thoughts, and experiments on bicycle travel adventures. From tips and tricks to ideas on how to ride your ride, let's shrink the world by bike. Show notes and more are available at pedalshift.net/373, and you can email the show at pedalshift@pedalshift.net or text me at 202-930-1109, and check Pedal Shift out on all the socials as well. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 373rd edition of the Pedal Shift Project. My name's Tim Mooney. Thanks so much for joining. On this edition, part 4 of the Oregon Coast Remix. Look, if you can't fuel your cycling, you can't ride very far. At least that's what my grandma always told me. By the way, she did not. So waking up in camp without much appetite doesn't really bode well for making very many miles in the saddle. But what if the solution were to just get on the bike and go? And would my reward be a night at my least favorite state park campsite? Good morning from Honeyman State Park. It is a little after 7:30. Trying to eat, not going successfully. I did eat dinner. That was fine. I think that ultimately this is all about dehydration more than anything else. So I've been trying to get more in me. I do think that I'm getting a little more regular that way, but sorry to gross you all out. The urine is not looking good. We'll just put it that way. So I think the plan here is we're going to ride down. We are going to assess in Reedsport, see how things are feeling. Basically, there's going to be 2 days of riding, and the mileages would be minimal. There's also backup buses as another option if things really go south, which I don't think they're going to, but got to be prepared just in case. But yeah, we're just going to take it as it comes. As I was mentioning to James, this hasn't happened to me in this way ever, so it's a little concerning, but it also feels like it was just a bad draw that I didn't hydrate properly. I think I was focused too much on electrolytes. And so today I'm going to try to focus on just regular water and see if that can help. And then, put in electrolytes as needed. I just had such good luck with them over the last couple of rides that it made sense to do that. So that's where we're at. It was not enjoyable yesterday, and then it was, because we ended up having fun here, and this is a great camp, and it was nice and dark. We had a nice cold sleeping night, which was great. And even though the riding situation has not been awesome, I have been super, super enjoying James's company and just the camping, and now I'm going to have to get back on a bike and do some terrain, and that'll be probably fine. And then we'll just assess in Reedsport, because from there we know that there's a campground really close by and can do that if need be, and just crawl my way to Bullard's Beach basically, or to any of a number of different places, North Bend, whatever. That's basically, I need to get to at least North Bend by Monday morning. That's my minimum. And there's all sorts of different ways to get there. And hopefully it'll be biking, and hopefully I'll get a little further than that, because I would love to get to some cool campsites. And there are possibilities that include cool campsites that are new. Sunset Bay, which maybe they've changed. Maybe they've upgraded. Who knows? They said they were going to, and that it was temporary, but it was not true. So we'll see. Yeah. Birds are chirping. The sun is behind clouds. It's a glorious morning. We'll make this work.
From Highway 101, mile marker 194. For those of you playing the home game, we are rolling. We are planning on meeting in Reedsport, which is about 18 miles down the road, just to see how things are going. We have, as I mentioned before, all sorts of different ideas on how to proceed depending on how I'm feeling. My hydration level is back, which is good. That's step one. Appetite, I'm starting to feel an appetite coming back, but I have not chosen to try to gobble something down. I am hitting those frosted mini wheats in my little feed bag here, just a little bit at a time, just to stoke things up. I would really like to get this tour from a cycling perspective back on track. But as James and I have discussed, in a lot of ways at this point, it's like, this is more about camping on the Oregon coast and hanging out and all that other good stuff. And, you know, there's still a tour here. We're still talking. So I think that all is a good thing too. But, you know, what I'm kind of maybe hoping for here is we get to Reedsport. I can eat like something approaching a regular amount of food, and we end up at Sunset Bay as punishment. But if I'm not feeling good, if my appetite hasn't returned, we got a campsite within a few miles of there, and we can just enjoy that, and that's a new one. So yeah, we're gonna end up at Bullard's Beach one way or the other, I think, unless things really go south, in which case there's other options there too. So yeah, in the interim, it just is feeling good to get back on the bike. I'll definitely say that. And I'm taking it real easy here as we go down the hill here. So I'll let you all go, but feeling good, playing this safe, and I think this all work out. From about, what did we say? James just told me it was about 7.9 miles from Reedsport. Just took a little break, as James was, and he's off to the races ahead of me. We got one more climb, and then it's flat for a little bit, and then it's a nice big downhill all the way to Reedsport. So things are going well. I'm feeling fine. I think that my appetite has slowly regained itself, which of course is fantastic and really necessary, because that's the thing, like, having no appetite means I can't get calories in me, and if I can't get calories in me, you know, you just don't feel good. So been really focused on just sort of, again, continuing eating from the feed bag, and then drinking a lot of water. I'm into my second bottle already. So clearly I have rated the ship. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think I have on the podcast that there's a condition called edema where a whole bunch of things are going on in your body, but basically it is stressed, and you retain water, and you don't do, it's sometimes hard to drink water, which of course is bad, and that might have been a contributing factor to what we had here. So I'm just going to go into a nice low gear to spin and just take my time up this. There is no rush. We are going to assess in Reedsport, as mentioned, and just go from there. But at this point, unless this hill really brings out some bad stuff, I think we'll grab some food, take a decent break, and then continue on. And again, my punishment will be Sunset Bay and a few other things as well. There's elements of the next bunch of miles that are they're challenging. The bridge into North Bend is always a big task, and you know, at that point in the day, it'll be, well, a big task. So anyways, more to come. You don't need to hear me huffing and puffing up a hill, that's for darn sure. From Reedsport, Oregon, and I have eaten a full lunch. That is the best news ever. So we've decided that we are going to push for Sunset Bay. God help us. Not my favorite. In fact, my least favorite. But who knows? Maybe, just maybe, they've changed it. Because of course, as you may remember, last year I did not even go. I got a motel instead because I so didn't want to go to it. So tonight I think we're going to do it. It's about 20-ish miles or so up and over one of the bigger climbs, the longer climbs. It's a long, big climb. You know, it's not super tall, but it's long. And on a sunny day like this, oh, by the way, it's sunny, you know, you're going to feel it. So, well, a few miles to Winchester Bay, we'll pass by the place that we were potentially going to go to, maybe some other time, some other trip, an Oregon Coast remixed trip. But yeah, this is going to be about a total of about a 55 mile day, or 54 mile day. So Nothing too horrible, but the fact that I was able to get calories down and it felt normal really just opens things up. So very excited about that. And then, you know, we'll talk more about our options later. I've got my wind muffle on, so you may not be able to hear, or you may, I don't know. There's a bit of a headwind right now, which is unusual southbound. I'm hoping that this is just because we're maybe facing into a diagonal a bit, but that of course would make this climb that much more difficult. So I'm hoping that things are a little bit better for us, but you know, we'll deal with it. I've got plenty of food of all types and full water bottles. So I think the hydration gambit worked. Getting that meal has been excellent, and you know, glad it's different, because boy, that just didn't feel good, and it had the potential of really putting the kibosh on a fun trip. But luckily it just modified things, hasn't destroyed it, and that's great. So, and now we jokingly get to go to Sunset Bay. All right, this is going to be a big climb. May check in, may not. Next place of note will be Winchester Bay, then the climb, and then we will be going to the big bridge into North Bend, and then a break where we will meet James at the Safeway in North Bend. So lots to come, a lot of riding, and sun-soaked, sadly. From Highway 101, just north of the bridge at the War Memorial, or Veterans Memorial, I should say, here. We just finished our break. Starting to feel it a little bit, but we're getting there. We might have a solution to the Sunset Bay problem. There is another campground run by Coos County called Bastendorf, and it, according to the ACA stuff, has a hiker-biker site. Now, the Coos County website doesn't have anything on that, so we're going to give them a call from the Safeway in North Bend. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We're near North Bend, and as you can hear, traffic is very robust, and this bridge is just not great. But you know, it's steep. It's got a steep incline and then a steep decline, and it's not the last annoyance of the day, but it's the last big one. It's very rolly and up and down for the final approach to the campground that we may end up at, or Sunset Bay, which is our backup. Good old Sunset Bay. Alrighty, so the remix may still fully be alive, because last night we were in a new to us campsite, even though the campground was an old one. And yeah, so we'll see. Feeling good. Feeling a little, like I said, a little fatigued, but you know, we're 40 something miles in, and you know, obviously I wasn't coming in at 100%. So, but yeah, the riding's been going pretty well, and that's all you can ask for at this point. Because there was a point in time when it was like, am I going to have to bail out on this and just take buses the rest of the way? And I'm grateful to say that is not happening. So more to come. We'll have more on our likely plans probably very soon. Actually, you may even hear from camp as the next recording. It all depends on how things go. From the Safeway in North Bend, Oregon. Notable because it means I've made it. And when I say I made it, this is the northern terminus of the bus that I need to catch on Monday. So if everything went to hell, I made it. And that was obviously a possibility given what was going on. But as a result, I now feel much better about how things have gone. I feel better. I feel more myself. I think I said it to James. It feels good to feel good again, which I am grateful for. So we got about an 11-mile ride to the Coos County Park. We have confirmed that they have a hiker-biker, so the remix remains a remix, which is absolutely fantastic. We like that. we will be staying at yet another new to us place. And we talked a little bit about what tomorrow might look like. Not 100% sure if we ended up making a decision. There's a hang out in Bandon and enjoy Bandon and have a short day, or we still need to see what the mileage would look like and decide from there if we do indeed want to go to Port Orford as originally set up, which would mean we would have caught up on the mileage from the short day from me feeling so lousy. So that's a possibility. We'll see about that. I don't know how to feel about it. I think we'll just decide maybe even in the morning as we tackle the Seven Devils, because unlike the original remix plan, where the Seven Devils were going to close out our day, since we started further back, that's just not going to happen. Although, it's funny, I do feel all right. I just don't feel like doing the Devils and the additional, well, it'd be a solid 30 miles, I think, when all said and done then. That's just not in the cards. So it's interesting, James and I are using different mapping apps. So we took different routes out of the Safeway, which I think is funny. But we'll eventually get to the right place. Let's see. Got more food than I need. It's funny now that I have the ability to eat again. It's funny how I'm carrying too much food, but it's fine. It just means I'll have all the food that I want tonight, and then tomorrow I'll have all the food that I need for breakfast, and probably then some. And I'll also have snacks for the ride. So I am in good shape, which is great. Oh, I see James now. He is on the main road that I'm about to turn left on off of, 14th. So yeah, weather is still very sunny day, which was, I think, as forecast. It'll be interesting to see what tomorrow is like. I did not look ahead to that, and I don't know if we're going to have a signal at this camp. It will be interesting to see. James is wayfinding, it looks like. So maybe we'll just call this off here.
From Bastendorf Beach County Park here in Coos County, Oregon. It is the end of the day. James is off to the bathroom. We will do a rating of this campground with him here. But the rest of the ride went about what it's usually like going here, except Google Maps sent me on a roundabout way with a very steep ride up to the campground. Turns out if I had stayed on the main road, there was also a steep driveway, basically, or steep road up here. We're up on a kind of a bluff over the ocean. I did get a chance to see the beach. It's a very nice beach, but yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And James and I are both kind of, we were both achy. James is returning with water now. I decided to start recording something. I was saying that we were both achy after today's ride. Did about 55 miles. And, it was a lot of up and downs. There were a couple of big hills. And of course, I documented those as we went along. Sunny from the moment we left. But I think we both managed. I'm just looking at James. James is not sunburnt. I don't know if I am, but fantastic. Neither of us are sunburnt. I always like to look around my wrists because those tend to get exposed. My wrists, I did put a sunscreen on those, so it seems like I dodged that bullet. But all right, Bastendorf. So this is not Sunset Bay. It is up on a bluff. It's not down at sea level, for lack of a better way of putting it. Nice, big, grassy area, which I'm going to give a big thumbs up to. Yeah. It's hard not to make this a comparison to Sunset Bay, just because I keep throwing Sunset Bay under the bus. Here's what I would say is lesser than with Sunset Bay. It feels like we're just thrown out on a grassy patch. We're by a kid's playground, but all of the amenities are sort of here. I'd say water is probably the one thing that there's no water spigot like right here, which I would ding it for. But we've got a ton of we have more picnic tables. I mean, what are there, like 40 picnic tables here? It's clearly picnic table storage, but yeah, you will not worry about a picnic table situation here. That is for sure. It could dozens of hiker biker tents for sure. So yeah, it's not fancy. It gets the job done. I don't know. There are showers. The bathroom is reasonably close by, but there is no porta potty right here.
No charging station.
No charging station. Is it unreasonable to give this a 5? Am I dinging it too much?
I don't know. I'd give it at least a 6, I think.
You know, I if that light comes on tonight,
Well, okay. Yes.
it's a 5 or a 4.5. I may
Or
ding it
there's
to
sprinklers or something.
I don't see any sprinklers, but I do like that we're way away from all of the RVs and all of the other campers. That's actually we gave extra points for that in other parks. So yeah, I think I'm landing again. Depending on if that gigantic halogen light turns on tonight, which it probably
Chucking
will.
rocks at it at 2 a.m.
Dude, we may. Maybe we can throw a picnic table at it. I think we have enough of them.
We stack the picnic tables up and just unscrew the light bulb up there.
That would be amazing. Like, James, get this table up on it.
20 feet up.
Having it like being rickety and it's swaying in all directions. Yeah. So yeah, I think James is going nominal 6. I'm going nominal 5, and maybe we revisit in the morning. We've looked at the maps. We know that we've got a couple of options tomorrow. I think based on initial discussions, I think we're leaning towards a shorter day so that we can just hang out in Bandon. And, you know, basically we do the Devils and we go to Bandon and get lunch, hang out, and then when it's late enough that we think that Bullard's Beach would let us in, we go to Bullard's Beach, you know, after a nice fun couple of hours. That's the easy button there. There's also another possibility of going to either of the two parks near Port Orford, which would have been the original mileage, as I mentioned in an earlier segment, but we're tired. I'm tired. I'm definitely tired. Ate just fine. That's 2 meals in a row where I had an appetite, which I can't say was the case earlier, so I'm thrilled. I don't know what happened. I think it was water. I think I should drink more water. But I'm currently enjoying an Oregon Pinot Noir, the wine varietal that is best known in Oregon. But I don't know who makes it. It just says Oregon Pinot Noir. Like the state of Oregon made it. Yeah, it's a blend.
Of all
It's just fine. James, any takeaways?
No, it was good riding today. Yeah, I enjoyed it. This is a nice sunny day on the Oregon coast.
A little too sunny.
Yeah, but this is sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's foggy, sometimes it's sunny. Today happened to be sunny. So.
I wonder if it ever snows on the coast. Maybe.
I doubt it.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. It was a good day. I think the highlight for me is that I feel normal. It feels good to feel good again. And making this tour into what it was supposed to be. And it's nice with the remix. I'm glad that you found this park.
Yeah.
What would you... Well, no, you haven't been to Sunset Bay in a while. Well, no, but you and a friend went before, yeah.
I don't remember... I can't recall the campground, so I can't compare.
You can't give it a...
Yeah.
I feel like that they're both 5s. Nah, no. You're by the fish station. I don't know. The state parks are all really good. You're like in the middle of everything. You're right jammed next to other people. If this is a 5, I feel like that Sunset Bay is like a half point less than whatever this one ends up being.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think I would potentially.
So you would choose this, assuming all goes well tonight.
Assuming all goes well tonight, I still have to go take a shower. We'll have to see what that's like.
Yeah. And the light.
That halogen light. It's on like a big telephone pole, and it looks robust, and it looks like one of those old school ones that's just gonna be blaring,
buzzing.
Oh God! I will dock this a full point if it buzzes. A full point.
Electric mechanical hum all night. Yeah.
Dude. Oh, this park gets an AT&T signal, whereas Sunset Bay does not.
Ah, okay. Well, that's worth something.
I think that's worth something. Yeah. I do think that, like, on balance, I was hoping for a little bit more here. I think the state parks have a vibe to them. Like, you know, there's something special about the state parks. And then the county parks are very utilitarian. I appreciate them, but this has got everything. It just doesn't have the charm. There's no charm here.
Yeah, it's a utilitarian.
Yeah, all the picnic tables you could possibly want.
Yeah.
If that thing buzzes, this place is getting a 3. All right, everybody. I think that's going to be it. The next time you hear from us, we'll report on the buzz.
Statistics. Miles biked, 55. Elevation gain, 3,200 feet. Appetite improvement, 100%. Meaningless hill climbs, 1. Buzzing lights at camp, bit of an upset, 0. Wine cans imbibed, 1. Picnic tables available, 40. Flats, 0. And as always, we like to close out the show with a special shout out to the Pedal Shift Society. Because of support from listeners like you, Pedal Shift is a weekly bicycle touring podcast with a global community. Expanding into live shows and covering new tours, if you like what you hear, you can support the show for $5, $2, or even $1 a month. And there's one-shot and annual options if you're not into the small monthly thing. Check it all out at pedalshift.net/society. On to the society. Kimberly Wilson, Caleb Jenkinson, Cameron Lean, Andrew McGregor, Michael Hart, Keith Nagel, Brock Dittus, Thomas Skadow, Marco Lowe, Terrence Manson, Harry Telgadas, Chris Barron, Mark Van Ram, Brad Hipwell, Mr. T, Nathan Poulton, Stephen Dickerson, Vince LaGreco, Cody Florchinger, Tom Beninati, Greg Braithwaite, Sandy Pizzio, Jeff Muster, Seth Pollock, Joseph Quinn, Drew Porter, Byron Patterson, Joaquin Robber, Ray Jackson, Jeff Fry, Kenny Mikey, Lisa Hart, John Denkler, Steve Henkel, Miguel Quinones, Alejandro Aviles Reyes, Keith Spangler, Greg Towner, Jody Zaranin, Lucas Barwick, Michael Baker, Brian Bechtal, Reinhard Bigel, Greg Middlemiss, Connie Moore, William Gothman, Brian Benton, Joan Churchill, Mike Bender, Rick Weinberg, Billy Crafton, Gary Matushak, Greg Latoile Lopez, James Sloan, Jonathan Dillard, John Funk, Ronald Paroli, Dave Roll, Brian Hafner, Misha LeBlanc, Ari Messenger, David Kropke, Todd Grossbeck, Wally Estrella, Sue Reinert, John Lico, Stephen Granada, Philip Mueller, Robert Lackey, Dominic Carroll, Jackie McCullough, John Hickman, Carl Presseau, David Neves, Patty Louise, Terry Fitzgerald, Peter Steinmetz, Timothy Fitzpatrick, Michael Azuski, Hank O'Donnell, David Zanoni, David Weil, Matthew Sponsella, Chad Reno, Spartan Dale, Carolyn Ferguson, Peggy Littlefield, Lauren Allensmith, Eric Burns, Thomas Pearl, Darren McKibben, Richard Stewart, Dave Fletcher, Jack Smith, Luke Parkinson, Ryan Patterson, Cyrus Faravar, John Gardner, Sam Scruggs, Dwight Pintinger, Connie Bowder, Rob Merrifield, and thanks to all past and anonymous folks for helping make this show happen.
Thank you for joining. You can find Pedal Shift at pedalshift.net for more great bicycle touring content. You can hear the Pedal Shift project through Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app. Opening music courtesy of Jason Kent off his self-titled album. The track is called America. Check out his band Sunfield's latest release, Mono Mono, wherever cool music is available.